Hi, this is Miles of Sanity 602 reporting to you at the Nightmare Central with day number 12's review. And in day number 12's review, we're going to be returning to the Hellraiser franchise with with Hellraiser Hellseeker, which is a 2002 R-rated direct-to-video 89-minute horror mystery thriller from it's the first of a trilogy within the Hellraiser franchise to be directed. Well, it's not really a trilogy in the sense like the Tommy Jarvis trilogy is to like the fucking Friday the 13th franchise or the Thorn franchise to Halloween. I'm a Thorn trilogy to Halloween. It's not necessarily a trilogy in that sense. It's just that it's the first one to be directed by Rick Boda. There it is. I gotta be a little bit more close because we have these four other films there. It's that one, the sixth Hellraiser film. Now, now, I I do not think that the Hellraiser Hellseeker is a bad movie. I love it. I think that the film has some really good qualities to it. It just isn't as brilliant and as impressive as Hellraiser Inferno. Hellraiser Inferno is just like the best, the best Hellraiser movie you could ever have. It has enough pinhead, a fucking compelling and interesting main character, a compelling and interesting main character for you to indulge upon, some trippy, torturing um, imagery, Overall, Hellraiser Inferno is just the best Hellraiser movie to me. Now, Hellraiser Hellseeker pretty much is similar to the Hellraiser Inferno. It was a repurposed script to be molded into a Hellraiser movie. That's what Hellraiser Hellseeker is been molded from another script into a Hellraiser movie. Now, do I have a problem with this? No. I said it in my Hellraiser Inferno video, say about like 2 or 3 days ago. It doesn't really bother me. I think that they put a lot of effort and time into this film, and I think overall sure it's like a direct-to-video movie that's just shelled out with Pinhead name just to keep the rights a little bit, but for the most part, despite that obvious greed behind the whole thing, you could definitely tell that the filmmakers were trying to make a good movie. And I think that ultimately it was effective. Now, Hellraiser Hellseeker starts out with the return of the Christy Conn character, and it was really nice to see Ashley Lawrence as Christy Conn from parts 1 and 2, a little bit in 3, coming back to the series. It was actually pretty fucking nice just to see Christy Conn come back. I'm like, hell fucking yeah, I love Christy Conn. Christy Conn in Hellraiser 1 2. She was very, very, helpful with the girl in part 2. She was an innocent girl in 1. I like that. But the Christy Conn that returns for Hellraiser Hellseeker isn't the best Christy, because she's just turned into a kind of a bitch. Now, I applaud them. I applaud them just like I applaud Deader for at least trying to make this fit into the Hellraiser universe by having Christy Cotton to come back. It was pretty nice. And one thing that's kind of nice about Inferno and Hellseeker, after the somewhat fun, somewhat stupidity of Pin and Space with Part 4, Bloodline. At least they try to be serious with the concept again, and don't come off like goofy. Well, not goofy, but silly. Not like that's so bad it's good. It's just a little bit silly in Pin and Space, but I like what they did with these sequels more than I did with Pin and Space. Now, you get to meet up with Christy. She, she basically knew her husband. Knew her husband was trying to, get her to open the box for somehow. For the first moments of the film, he starts out like a fucking a swell guy, and then you realize that he had a plan to murder his wife with his coworker, which his coworker's kind of stupid. Not stupid, but it just felt a little bit out of place for me. But I still like the character. I think that he had like a nice little stupid cheesy thing to him. Not stupid cheesy, but it was an oddball, and I liked his acting in it. It was a little bit over the top, but I like it. We get this detective over there who is basically, analyzing the case of our so-called protagonist, and I like that they have this interesting case concept where this guy is trying to, doesn't know that he done some shit wrong about trying to conspire to murder his wife, and then you realize that I like that they, I like the police angle. It isn't as like, oh my god, awesome, almost, oh my god, awesome, like Joseph Thorne, um, aka Craig Sheffer, and Inferno. It isn't like that, but isn't that compelling because at least Craig Sheffer added a little bit of he had a little bit more of a more well thought out character to him, and I like that. I like that his character was a little bit more thought out, a little bit direct, and there was a little bit more meat to him, and we got a little bit more out of the whole entire moral ambiguity, fucking not pronounced that correctly, ambiguity of the a Pinhead character in that sequel. It was it just overall just worked a little bit better there. With this guy, we don't really, played by Dean Winters. I just don't really think Dean Winters brought a good enough job to the film. I think that Winters wasn't no Craig Sheffer. Craig Sheffer, he was just a an average guy doing average things in this direct-to-video Hellraiser movie. Um, he sometimes has these hot bitches, like all these girls that go on him, and his like weird dream sequences were really attractive. They were the highlight of the film, if you ask me, because they're really hot. They were really hot. But other than that, there really wasn't much to the character, other than him being, having hot girls there, a weird partner. But overall, I like that they at least, tried to do a good enough job of solving the whole entire mystery of this particular Hellraiser movie near the end of the film. I like that they, at least try to do, at least that they tried to do something have a little bit impact, and then we did the switching, and that this whole entire events never really occurred. Besides Christy, it actually turns out to live through that car accident. And speaking about the car accident, I like how they lead up this mystery. I think Doug Bradley does a really good job in this movie. He does a really good job in any Hellraiser movie he's in. Even the shitty ones, the only shitty one that he's in is in Hellworld, and we'll get to that later on in this month. But yeah, he was good in that one. Other than Doug Bradley, he's doing that good. Some other off-the-wall characters. The main characters are kind of weak in this film. And now, Dean, is this film gonna be? Do I have a lot of rewatching? No, I don't. With this film, I don't really see myself visiting it as much as Inferno. But it's still good in my books. Has its problems, but I like it. For the most part, it appeals to me. The Blu-ray presentation of Hellraiser Hellseeker is pretty good. It's a step up. It's a step up between. It's right in between Hellraiser Bloodlines quality and Hellraiser Inferno's quality in this little set here. And since it jumps from part 6 to part 8, and part 8 will get its own video. They made a solo release of Hellraiser Deader, so I'll be talking about this because I'm not really going to devote one video to this film in this season. So I'm just going to add this as like a bonus review in this in this video. Hellraiser Deader is actually it's a 2005 one. Also directed by Rick Boda, came out the same year as Hellworld. This film here came out the same year as that one. And Hellraiser Deader is actually my second favorite of the franchise. I think Hellraiser Deader it goes very well with Inferno. I like Hellraiser Deader. Hellraiser Deader has a lot more things sticking out with it than Hellseeker did. Hellseeker just doesn't really have much other than a few things, but mostly shortcomings, but it's not a bad movie. But Hellraiser Deader has a lot more going for it. You have a more interesting lead in this female news reporter who does weird pieces in her news articles. She does a business trip to a foreign state where she's supposed to discover this weird occult who obsesses over the Lamont configuration. They tied in a little bit of I like that they tied in a little bit portion of the Toy Maker in Part 4's Bloodline. I like that they returned to that plot line. I also enjoy, I like that they returned to that storyline. And they made this guy not like some innocent guy like the three people that we met in and 3 Bloodline members that we met in Hellseeker. I like that. I like that they made this got nice little locations to this film. I think that this film has a terrific eerie locations to it. I like a lot of the creepy visuals that a Hellraiser movie has in Deader. The main lead played by Kari War, who is like a direct-to-video Dean Winters isn't much of a direct-to-video frequenter like Kari Wurr and Craig Sheffer. But she's been the Prophecy 4 and 5. She's been in some other stuff. I think Anaconda. I think it's popular TV show. She's attractive in this movie, as she usually is. Kari Ward is a pretty attractive gal. Um, so I like her character. It's a little bit more, has a lot more meat to that character. I like that they, done some things. I also like the little, thing about it. I give Deader, if you're really bored, and you're I'm sorry. If you're like really bored, and you want to watch something that you could pass the time, Hellseeker's that. But if you want to watch a movie that, if you're not bored, but you want to watch a really great movie, that you could get fully invested in, I strongly suggest Deader. Deader's a really good movie. The Blu-ray release of Deader is pretty good. It's one of Echo Bridge's better releases. You look at that, you get a shit ton of extra content, which is a rarity for Echo Bridge. They did this with Halloween Resurrection, which is cool. I love Halloween Resurrection. I could go on for days about that movie. They did an excellent job. I haven't owned that one, but I know that the picture quality is really good with their Halloween Resurrection one. And I like that they gave Deader, and they given proper respects to two underrated films, Halloween Resurrection and Hellraiser Deader. Hellraiser Deader, you got a good amount of extras. It's one disc. It's one disc. It isn't like this thing where you get 4 movies on one disc, which will compact the audio quality a bit. This one you get it on one disc, and despite it being with that, these are out of print releases, by the way. So this been re-released by Lionsgate. This particular one been re-released by Lionsgate, so they probably use the same transfers because it has the same packaging except for cosmetic Lionsgate logoing. This one, they haven't really done, Lionsgate hasn't done one, but whatever, if they do, it's probably going to be the same transfer as this. They provide good disc artwork. The only thing that sucks about it's this little first time on Blu-ray was back when they did that, and it was a bit fucking, it's just horrendous. That's something that you put on like a sticker. You don't put this on the actual DVD case, first time on Blu-ray. Like, that's okay if you put on like the plastic that's supposed to cover the Blu-ray, but this is awful. I think Sony Pictures, back when they did early releasings of Pineapple Express, done something actually worse by actually making this a sticker and putting on the original case, which just led me to replace the case for that film. Might watch that soon. Hellraiser Deader. I love Hellraiser Deader. It's second favorite of the franchise. Hellraiser Hellseeker. Not really. But anyways, so let's start to rank these bitches. Hellraiser Hellseeker gets a I give it a 7 out of 10. Hellraiser Deader gets a 9.5 out of 10. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. This has been day number 12 of my 31 days of horror, my 4th annual 31 days of horror film reviews, and I shall be back in a little less than 24 hours with another film review. And that film review isn't going to be a Hellraiser movie. That would be day number 13's review. That isn't going to be a Hellraiser movie, but day number 14 was going to be, I'm not going to tell you that because I at least want a bit of a mystery. I've spoiled it on my Facebook page by releasing it like a dumbass, but we'll get to that in later episodes of this season. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe. But the day after tomorrow, we'll be finishing our Hellraiser reviews of this year's, and I shall be back with a little less than 24 hours yet again with day number 13's review. Anyways, like, comment, subscribe. I shall be back with more videos, and stay groovy, and watch Hellraiser Deader. I love Hellraiser Deader, and also watch Halloween Resurrection. Also watch Hellraiser, Hellseeker. Watch all these great dimension direct-to-video films. I think that they deserve a little bit more credit than they give. Than they got. Anyways, I gotta go. Stay groovy, sugars, and I'll be back. Bye.